So let's go over what we learned within like the last week of being here in the U.S. We moved to a specific Chinese app and opened the eyes to the Chinese citizenry that all of the, quote, propaganda they were telling them, or they were told about America, isn't actually propaganda, it's the truth. And dispelled their disbelief in the fact that we have a corrupt police system, prison slavery, government that wants to control women's body and turn them into baby factories. The main... sorry. The U.S. government is running on platforms that are like pro or anti-LGBTQIA+, focusing very much so on the T portion of that community. To the point that we've learned Mandarin to better explain that. Realizing that has seen like them closing this app is making us do that move. And so President-to-be tomorrow, Trump, has decided to put in a 90-day extension on the possibility of ByteDance selling the app, which, by the way, ByteDance is not going to sell the app, so enjoy the next 90 days, I guess, to the best of your extent. And we just said it's all to basically make him seem like the savior. It's like, oh, look what I've done. You've got the app back. That was threatened to be taken away by a bipartisan motion in the Senate. Fuck off. Your fucking Republican friends tagged that in as a red pill onto a needed to pass fucking how the government decides to spend its money bill. Also threw in there like aid, military money and weapons to not only Ukraine but also Israel. One of which those countries actually needs our military aid. The other one which clearly does not. And people are like, how did Trump win? And everybody else like, because Harris wasn't she wasn't pro-Palestine enough. And we're all just acting like we're fucking surprised and shit, then we should be thankful. Get fucked. Jesus fucking Christ. Did y'all forget that whenever Trump was last in office, he wanted to move the American embassy to Israel to Jerusalem, which only aided Israel in taking over more Palestinian lands by moving their embassy to the Holy Land. By the way, yes, that was under the flag of like white Christian nationalism from his former VP, but the man didn't try and fucking stop it. He was fucking going no for it, and you think that he's more pro-Palestine than Harris was, and that's why you didn't vote for her. Y'all are the fucking problem. Y'all are legitimately the fucking problem. You don't care that a 34-time convicted felon, who's prolifically known for violating women, verbally saying what he does to violate women, doesn't respect the privacy of minor children, specifically little girls, in a changing room because he owns the fucking building, as if that's reason enough to make it okay. And y'all elected him as president. And now he's doing everything he can to make himself look like the savior. If you still think Trump was the right choice for president, you're blind. Or ignorant. Which at this point, ignorant isn't even a fucking thing. You're arrogant. Most of the U.S. lives below the poverty line. Medical debt. Or just fucking not being able to eke out a living, own their own homes, having to choose between keeping a roof over their head or the power turned on or food in their stomachs. But you're more worried about who goes into the fucking bathroom to take a shit or a piss. You're listening to millionaires and billionaires and politicians who don't give a flying fuck about you, instead of everybody else, the person to your left and to your right, who's down the street in the neighborhood that you don't like, because it doesn't affect you as much. Sit with that. America's not great. Hasn't been great for a very long time. Hasn't realistically been great ever. We've never gotten rid of slavery. We've never really given women the full rights that they deserve and treated them like citizens in this country, by any means or standard. We continually oppress marginalized BIPOC communities, and we let Christian nationalism take over and tell us what we approve and don't approve of, who somebody can or cannot love. This is not the greatest country in the world. This is not a great country. It's not like we can leave it. We don't make enough money to leave. We can't expatriate ourselves and go to another country, because moving to another country costs money. And expatriating ourselves and renouncing our American citizenship costs thousands of dollars. Which, again, we don't fucking have the money for. And the fact that we have to pay a government to be like, yeah, we're not your citizen anymore, but here's $4,000 fucking dollars. This isn't a country for the people. It's a country for corporations. And until you open your eyes to that simple fucking fact and start actually listening and looking into the people that you're electing and finding people who actually give a damn about its people, it's not going to change. Nothing's going to change here. Triple D.